Hey you, yeah you who clicked on this video. Thanks for giving our channel a shot. And if you will, please do us the honor of watching the video all the way through. Appreciate it. Now onto the video.
Hello fellow 8-bit heroes. I know it's been a couple of days, but I honestly had to recover from the literal headache that the first episode of The Acolyte gave me, because it's just random nonsensical story. I just couldn't continue thinking about it, let alone talking about it. But because I love you guys, I'm here with some more punishment so you don't have to go through it. And we're going to talk about episode 2 in particular. We're going to recap episode 2 called Revenge/Justice. So we're going to continue the duality theme. Now, the reason that I waited, besides the fact that, again, the Force is female now and the stupid is strong with this one, is because I wanted to give this another shot. I wanted to watch it again and make sure that what I was seeing was in fact what I was seeing, and that I wasn't, going through a acid trip, or worse yet, having an aneurysm. So let's talk about it. So this episode picks up where the first episode left off. Basically, May, the bad twin, I guess, is now on to her second of 4 targets. Her second target is a master who has taken some sort of oath of silence or whatever, and he is in a Jedi temple on another planet, while Osha is with that's his Soul. Sorry, I read it very hard to keep up with the names, but Soul is transporting her along with Padawan Know-It-All and Caramel Killmonger. So they're on their way to take Osha to Coruscant, while May is stalking her prey. May finds it literally super easy, barely an inconvenience, to break into this Jedi temple. You would think with a temple full of psychic space wizards, somebody would notice her. But no, all May needed was a couple of credits and some basic acrobatic skills, and she's in there like swimwear. So I don't really understand what the point of the Jedi is in this temple. Like, are these the remedial Jedi? Because none of them have like any Force sensitivity whatsoever. They're no better than stormtroopers, really, in this particular episode, because they just walk right past her. Nobody senses anything. Nobody senses there's no dark side forces at play. They just mosey on about their business, and May really isn't that skilled, so this is just kind of annoying. So she tries to confront the Jedi Master, who is literally levitating, and somehow he is not only levitating but able to manipulate the Force as a force field. Yeah, don't think about it. Don't think about it too hard. It's already stupid. It's already stupid. So she tries force food, nothing happens. She tries to pull out her little knives, nothing happens. And so she has to leave with her tail between her legs, because she just cannot kill this man. All right. So she meets up with basically Asian Ezra Miller, and they are basically talking about how they're going to approach this particular target. And there's a stipulation on at least one of the targets that she has to kill one of them without using a weapon. So she opts to try to pull some trickery on this one and get some poison. I don't know why poison would work against a force field, but we'll get into that later. Anyway, so back to Osha, Soul, Caramel Killmonger, and Padawan Know-It-All. So they are basically going back and forth about what the order should be, and then they find out from Leslye Headland's wife that another murder has happened. So that basically clears Osha of all charges, because obviously she can't be in 2 places at once. So I guess some logic can penetrate these people, but Soul asks whether or not he should continue bringing Osha to Coruscant or, you know, go and pursue the lead based on the evidence that they have. So he's given the green light to go and pursue this, and he decides that he's going to enlist Osha's help in capturing May, along with Caramel Killmonger and Padawan Know-It-All. So, as we get to this planet and we start to investigate this whole thing, they go to the Jedi Temple. Now, there's a time lapse here. Obviously, May has already somehow coerced this Jedi because of guilt or whatever to let down his force field and take this poison and kill himself. Oh, okay, whatever. So again, Osha is then blamed for the murder again, but Caramel Killmonger comes to the rescue and lets everybody know that no, he's been watching her the whole time and she hadn't done it. Never mind the fact that this dude's body has obviously been there for quite some time now, but whatever. Again, I still don't understand why they keep leaving this one skylight open for her to escape. Like, she's literally escaped through the same skylight 2 times. But I digress. Then we get to probably the most ridiculous part of this episode, and that is the introduction of a character that I will lovingly name Plus Size Padawan. Plus Size Padawan, he doesn't have a name as far as I know, but the fact that Jedi are all about self-control and yet we have an obese Padawan learner who looks to be way too old to be a Padawan is beside the point. I mean, they made the same mistake with Caramel Killmonger. See, what Leslye Headland and whoever else is writing this series forgot about the Jedi conveniently is that they're usually they recruit pretty young. So by the time you actually take the trials and everything, you usually know more than maybe about, I'd say in the range of probably about 14 to 16 maybe. Now, obviously, there are known exceptions to this rule, that being Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was also too old, and Anakin Skywalker, who was also too old. Also Luke, but Luke, I mean, there were real slim pickings when Luke came around, so you don't really hold that against him. But all of these motherfuckers is old in the face. I mean, whether we're talking about Caramel Killmonger or we're talking about Plus Size Padawan, these motherfuckers look like they 30. Like, what's really good? But it don't even matter. Like I said, the show doesn't matter, but it's just content, really. So we get back to CW Star Wars, and everything is going down in this episode. They're now trying to formulate some sort of plan to essentially capture Asian Ezra Miller and get him to rat on May. I don't know why we need these elaborate schemes when you have a whole Jedi Master, a Jedi Knight, and a temple full of Jedi. Why you would need these elaborate schemes to capture one chick who's really barely trained, if we're being completely honest, but I digress. So there were literally 2 plans introduced. Caramel Killmonger says we confront the guy, stun him with the little gun thingy, and then bring him in for questioning. Then Padawan Know-It-All says, no. Let's have Osha impersonate May to get the guy to drop his guard so that we could get the drop on him. And they go along with that plan. Now, the ridiculous of this Parent Trap-esque idea is already dubious at best, simply because Osha has not seen or interacted with her sister in over a decade. Meanwhile, this person obviously has some sort of relationship with Osha or with May, and so he would know that something is different about her when she comes in, probably dressed differently, speaking differently. He's gonna know. I mean, it's not like they're, you know, like they're not assassins that were literally sent to kill people, and so they need to keep a low profile. No. So they send Osha in with this dumbass plan, and Soul co-signs on this shit. So obviously, wisdom is not a prerequisite for being a master. But nonetheless, this plan sort of kind of works. And dude gives up the ghost, basically confessing to everything. And they say they're going to let him off with a warning if he cooperates, knowing that he has now supplied the poison. So you're going to let an accessory to murder off with a warning? Boy, good thing y'all trained to be space wizards and not law enforcement, because y'all suck. So this all happens. He betrays May. God, it's so hard to keep these two because they look exactly the same down to the hairstyle, because you would definitely keep the same hairstyle as your sister, even though y'all haven't seen each other and both think each other are dead. But again, the plot is nonsensical, and so is everything about this. So they basically, are now ready to confront May. And so they do. And May tries to fight Soul with Force Fu, which I am so done with. But she's no match for Soul, because again, now we're able to use the Force properly in this particular fight. Indara couldn't use the Force properly. Nobody else can use the Force properly, but Soul in this fight, the Force works just fine now. So basically, she is cornered by Soul and Caramel Killmonger, and somehow, and also Padawan Know-It-All in an aerial vehicle, but she conjures some sort of dust storm using the Force and is able to escape, even though they have an aerial view of her. And she gets away. So they then basically are like, okay, well, if we can get to the city gates before her, we can stop her from leaving to kill an apparent Wookiee Jedi. God, I hate the High Republic. Anyway, so Osha finds May, and instead of taking her down to not only clear her name once and for all, but stop her sister who's just on a murder spree, she decides not to hit her with the stun gun and miss every time. So it turns out that instead of being a Jedi, Osha was really suited to be a stormtrooper. But since those don't exist yet, I can see why, that skill set is just not usable. So she gets the disappointment of Soul. They don't really say it, but that he is disappointed in her. May gets away, and then we go to a planet where there is a Wookiee Jedi who uses the Force to grab, two bandits' guns and then breaks them in half. Now this Wookiee, the design for it is obviously a practical effect, but the guy they have in the Wookiee suit is not tall enough in the least. Like he looks like a midget Wookiee, basically. Like he's vastly undersized, and but again, it's not like anybody that's working on this really cares about canon or tradition or what came before, so why start now, right? So that's the end of this episode. It was trash. There were very few redeeming qualities. I do like that they at least attempted to use practical effects in some aspect, but it really just comes off as CW Star Wars. I hear that episodes 3 and 4 are basically going to break Star Wars as we know it, but that is yet to be seen. So basically, when that comes out on Wednesday, I'm going to try to hurry up and put out a recap of those episodes. So let me know what you thought about this episode, whether you think I'm being too harsh on it, or whether, just like me, this entire affair gives you the worst migraine you've ever had. Sign off in the comment section below. We'll see you on the next one. 8-Bit Heroes out. Peace.
If you'd like to give a shout out on the channel, then hit that like button, maybe share it with a couple of friends, and do us the biggest honor of all, and subscribe to the channel so you can join the 8-Bit Heroes family. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when our new videos come out.